Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskritam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Shaiva Narottamam
Devim Sarasatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayat
Tato Jayamudirayat.
Nasta Prayeshu Vabhadreshu
Nashta Prayeshu Avadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki.
We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 31. Narada Muni instructs the Prachetas. Text number 21.
Canto 4, chapter
31,
chapter 31.
the last chapter.
Okay, and the text, Maharaj?
21.
21, okay. That's
Na
Maharaj.
bhajati kumane sinam saichyam.
Na bhajati kumashinam sarjyatam.
Na bhajati, oh. Na bhajati kuman ish inam saichyam.
Na bhajati kumashinam sarjyatam.
Harir adanan atma dana priyo rasagna.
Hariratmatma dana priya rasajnana.
Harir adanan atma dana priyo rasagna.
Hariratmatma dana priyo rasajnan.
Shrutadana kula karamananam madhevye.
Shrutadana kula karmanam madhave.
Shrutadana kula karmananam madhevye.
Shrutadana kula karmanam madhave.
Vidhadati papam akinchaneshu satsu.
Vidadati papam akinchaneshu satsu.
Vidhadati papam akinchaneshu satsu.
Vidadati papam akinchaneshu satsu.
Na bhajati kumana sinam sa ijyam.
Navajati kumanishinam sadijyam.
Harir adanat madhana priyo rasagna.
Hariratmadana priyo rasajna.
Shrutadana kula karmanam madhevye.
Shrutadana kula karmanam madhevye.
Vidhadati papam akinchaneshu satsu.
Vidadati papam akinchaneshu satsu.
Okay. Chant.
Na bhajati kumakshinam sajyam.
Na bhajati kumanasinam sajyam.
Harir adanatma dana priyo rasajnan.
Harir adanatma dana priyo rasagna.
Shrutadana कर्माणं मदैर्ये
Shrutadhanakula karmanam madhye
विदाति पापम् अकिञ्चनेषु सत्सु
Vidhati papam akinchanesu satsu
Nabhajati kumashishinam ca idyam.
Nabhajati kumaneshinam sajyam
Hariradhanatma dhana priyo rasanya.
Hariradhanatma dana priyo rasagnya
Shruta dhana kula karma namadirye.
Shrutadhanakula karmanam madhye
Vidhatati papa makishaneshu satsu.
Vidhadati papam akinchaneshu satsu
Na bhajati kumanisinam saijyam.
Nabhajati kumanasisam sajyam
Harir adhanatma dhana priyo rasagnya.
Hariradhanatma raso
rasagnya.
Rasagnya. Shruta dhana kula karmanam madarye.
Shrutadhanakula karmanam madhye
Vidadhati papam akinchaneshu satsu.
Vidhati papam akinchaneshu satsu. Word meaning na,
Na,
never. Bhajati,
Bhajati
accepts.
accepts.
Kumanishinam,
Kumanishinam
of persons with a dirty heart.
of persons with a dirty heart.
Sa,
Sa,
he,
he,
ijyam,
Ijyam,
offering.
offering.
Hare,
Hare,
the Supreme Lord.
the Supreme Lord.
Adana,
Adana,
to those who have no material possessions.
to those who have no material possessions.
Atmadana,
Atmadana,
simply dependent on the Lord.
simply dependent on the Lord.
Priya,
Priya,
who is dear.
who is dear.
Rasagna,
Rasagnya,
who accepts the essence of life.
Who
accepts the essence of life.
Shruta,
Shruta,
education.
education.
Dana,
Dana,
wealth.
wealth.
Kula,
Kula,
aristocracy.
aristocracy.
Karmanam,
Karmanam,
and of fruitive activities.
and of fruitive activities.
Madai,
Madai,
by pride.
by pride.
Yea,
Yea,
all those who.
all those who
Vidadati,
vidadati,
perform.
perform.
Papam,
Papam,
disgrace.
disgrace.
Akinchaneshu,
Akinchaneshu,
without material possessions.
without material possessions.
Satsu,
Satsu,
unto the devotees.
unto the devotees.
Translation.
Translation.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes very pleased, very dear to those devotees who have no material possessions, but are fully happy in possessing the devotional service of the Lord. Indeed, the Lord relishes the devotional activities of such devotees. Those who are puffed up with material education, wealth, aristocracy, and fruitive activity are very proud of possessing material things, and they often deride the devotees. Even if such people offer the Lord worship, the Lord never accepts them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
The Supreme,
This is the verse we're doing in Zurich, but every day we're reading in Zurich, and so I'm just following on where we left off from Zurich. Yesterday I did text 20. So purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is dependent on His pure devotees. He does not even accept the offerings of those who are not devotees. A pure devotee is one who feels he does not possess anything material. A devotee is always happy in possessing the devotional service of the Lord. Devotees may sometimes appear materially poor, but because they are spiritually advanced and enriched, they are most dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such devotees are free from attachment to family, society, friendship, children, and so on. They abandon affection for all these material possessions and are always happy in possessing the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. The Supreme Personality of Godhead understands the position of his devotee. If a person derides a pure devotee, he is never recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, the Supreme Lord never excuses one who offends a pure devotee. There are many examples of this in history. A great mystic yogi, Durvasa Muni, offended the great devotee Ambarish Maharaj. The great sage Durvasa was to be chastised by the Sudarshan chakra of the Lord. Even though the great mystic directly approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was never excused. Those on the path of liberation should be very careful not to offend a pure devotee. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So Narada Muni is speaking and he's instructing the Prachetas. They were the 10 sons of a great king called Maharaj Prachini Barisha. So the Prachetas were in their ashram. Narada Muni came to visit them and they told Narada Muni, they said, you know, we're very bewildered by the material energy. Please enlighten us. So Narada Muni speaking to them, and he was telling them about the relationship between the Lord and the living entities. And he was explaining how we're part of the Lord, just like the root. When we water the plant, put the water on the root. We don't put the water on the leaves, we put it on the root. And from the root, all the leaves and branches get nourished. So everyone in the universe, even the devas, the different gods, demigods, we're like leaves and branches. And the root is the Supreme Lord. Right? Narada Muni gave that example. And he gave another example. He said, like the stomach. You feed the stomach and then all the parts of the body get energy. You cannot just feed the legs or the hand. You have to feed the stomach, and then the energy is distributed to all the parts of the body. So the Lord is like that. He's like the root or like the stomach. And we satisfy the Lord, then everyone will be satisfied, everyone will be happy. So Narada Muni was explaining then that everyone should take up devotional service. They should do devotion, acts of devotion for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. And in that way make their life successful. And now he's describing that if you do devotion to the Lord will be very pleased with you. The Lord is very, very pleased with the devotee. But of course, devotee is not an easy thing to be a devotee. We're trying to be devotees. Devotee means one who has completely taken shelter of the Lord. We take shelter of the Lord, and we don't think we possess anything. As he said, Prabhupada, as Narada Muni is saying, one who gives up all material possessions. In other words, he doesn't think this is mine, this belongs to me. He understands everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. It's not my property, it's all his. And I have to use it for his service. So that is the thinking of the pure devotee. Somebody may be a devotee, they may be a mixed devotee. Mixed devotee means we don't think, well, this much is for Krishna and this much is mine. Right? We give something to Krishna and something. But the pure devotee understands everything belongs to Krishna and uses everything for Krishna's service. So Prabhupada, as Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he says sometimes people think, oh, devotees poor, they have no money, and they think they, and just like when Prabhupada went to America, they said to him, oh, you're coming from a poor country, India's a poor country, you're coming to America, it's a rich country, you know, are you coming to get money from us? And Srila Prabhupada told him, he said, no, I don't want you. He said, I'm not coming to get your money, I'm coming to give you what you have lost. He said, you've forgotten about God, so I've come to remind you about God. So Prabhupada never bothered about money, he never asked people for money, he just said, if they wanted to give, of course we would accept it and use it for Krishna's service. But he never had to go and beg from people to give money for this or that. So he understood Krishna will give. If Krishna wants to give, he can give the whole world. Just like the Pandavas. The Pandavas, before the battle of Kurukshetra, they had nothing. They had no kingdom. And they asked Maharaj Yudhishthira, just give one village. He said, I will not. They asked Duryodhana, give one village, let us, so that we can keep our caste, because we're Kshatriya. So Kshatriya should have a village, they should have some kingdom, should have some property. They had nothing. And they were asking Duryodhana, can you just give us one village? He said, I will not give you enough land to go through the eye of a needle. So that was his mood, you know, he didn't want to give anything. So the Pandavas had nothing. Anyway, Krishna wanted them to fight Kurukshetra war, and they fought the Kurukshetra war, and 18 days later, they ruled the world. They were ruling the whole world. So Prabhupada said, if you surrender to Krishna, take part in his 18-day plan, he can give you the whole world. If you're qualified, you know, the Pandavas, Maharaj Yudhishthira, they were qualified. They could use it properly. They knew how to use it according to religious principles. So if Krishna wants, he can give you the whole world. But a devotee doesn't think this is mine. He doesn't think I'm the proprietor. He understands Krishna is the proprietor. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the 5th chapter, the final verse of the Bhagavad Gita is the peace formula. Peace formula. You know, people like peace, like United Nations, you know, they're always talking about peace and Om Shanti, 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 you know. We talk about that, we want peace. So the real formula for peace is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said you need to know 3 things, right? What do you need to know? What 3 things do you need to know to get peace? Krishna says, first you have to know Krishna is the proprietor. Everything belongs to him. And then everything is meant for his pleasure. And third thing, he is our best friend. He's the best friend of all, because he's always with us, you know. We've had many friends. When you were at school, you had friends. When you were at college, you had different friends. Then you were working, you have different friends. Like that, so different times, and you're like with different friends, they come and go, right? Had so many different friends. But one friend is always with us, the super soul, Krishna in the heart. He's always with us. He's speaking to us. He's guiding us. So we have to know he's the best friend. And we have to know he's the proprietor. Everything belongs to him. Ishavashyam idam sarvam. In the Ishopanishad. Ishavashyam idam sarvam. Yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Tena chaktena punjada. Magrada kashasiddhanam. Everything in the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. So we should accept only what is our quota. Don't take more than what we need. And one should accept, therefore, only those things necessary for himself. And we should not take more than that. No, why? Because it's not ours. It belongs to Krishna. We came in this world with nothing, and we will leave with nothing. But while we're here, we're trying to, people want to have, they want to accumulate more. They build empires, you know. We were seeing Roosevelt, these different people, right? You know, where are they today, you know? Rockefeller, you know, all of these people, big, rich people, you know, where are they today? What is their destiny? You know, and we are in the material world, 14 worlds, and sometimes we go up to the higher planets, and sometimes we go down to the lower planets. In the lower planets, Yamaraj is there, the god of death, who punishes the sinful. And the higher planets, the devas are there. They're enjoying their punya, but it's all temporary. Everywhere there is birth and death. You take birth and live for some time, then you die, take another body. We have to prepare for the next life. People only worry about this life. They're only thinking today, you know, they're not thinking about the next life. That is real planning. Planning for the future, the next life. Where are we going to go? But if you plan for the next life, and you'll be happy also in this life too, guaranteed. Krishna takes care of his devotee. It's up to us to take shelter of Krishna. There was one astrologer came to the village. So 4 different people came to him. And the one came, he was the son of the ruler in the village. So the astrologer told him, he said, don't die. Madjiva. Rajaputra Charanjiva. Charanjiva, right? There's this devotee, his name is Charanjiva. It means you don't die, long life, immortal. Would you like that blessing? Would you like to be Charanjiva? Some people, they get that blessing, it's a lot of trouble. Because when Brahma dies, then the whole universe is flooded, and you have to live in the ocean. You have to swim in the ocean for years, you know, and wait for the end, wait for the next creation to begin. Anyway, the first man, the king's son, because devotees are all very dear to Lord Krishna, because they've taken shelter They've taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So an offense against the lotus feet is more serious than offense against the body. The feet are more sensitive. You can tolerate the heat of the sun on our head, but you cannot tolerate the heat on our feet. If you go on the hot sand in the summer, it will burn our feet.
Yeah. You've got frozen. No, it's okay.
Yes, question.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah?
He has a question.
Really?
Yeah.
What question do you have?
So, Maharaj, let's say somebody is a devotee and is offending another devotee. What is the mentality of receiving an offense?
Well, a devotee thinks I must have offended him in my past life. I must have done something to offend him, so now I'm getting it back. And we should be tolerant. Devotees should be tolerant like the tree.
Like the grass.
Humbler than the grass. And this way, let it go. We don't take any action. Okay. Any other questions?
You have a question? No.
Queen Kunti also said the same thing in her prayers. Queen Kunti said, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shridbir Edamanam Madapuna Naivarhati Avidatam Vai Tvam Akinchana Gotra. If you're on the path of material progress, then you cannot know Krishna. If you're thinking is material, and how do people progress materially? We want to be in the aristocratic family, or we want to be educated, very educated. You want to be very good looking. You want to be very rich. We want this. This is material progress. These four things. So if we are interested in these four things, then we won't be able to know Krishna. We'll be covered. It'll be recovered for us. So we have to not be too much concerned with these material things. Then we can come to Krishna. Queen Kunti said like. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shil Prabhupada ki
jai. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Bhakti Vigna Vinash Narsimha Maharaj ki
Jai.
Gaur
jai.
Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai. Okay, chapter text 31.
Stop it.
Yeah, we can stop.